evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everyone that tuned in for our first virtual signing of the evening with the one and only Doug Gilbert. We are back for our nightcap. And this is someone you've seen in many realms of entertainment. You've seen her, of course, on stage. You've seen her on your TV, wrestling, various reality TV shows. I called her earlier the Jill of all trades. Goldy Locks is here with us today for a virtual sign. Goldie, I want to thank you for joining us here in the Captain's Corner Happy Hour.
Oh, thank you everybody for tuning in all these days, all these hours. We are so appreciative to have you, and I've heard that we've sold some really cool items tonight, and I'm just excited to do that for you live here in person, and then tell you some backstories on a few other little tidbits that I brought with me from my studio, which is actually right down the road in Nashville, Tennessee. So it looks like Nick's got some really great stuff.
In addition to all the pre-order items, guys, Goldie brought some goodies that we're going to talk about that you guys are going to want. Lots of these items, one of a kind, VIP access passes, original TNA promotional stuff that has never really been seen anywhere. CDs available, lots of really cool stuff, and some goodies based on what you're purchasing, guys. Like and share it out. I'm going to do that. In the meantime, Goldie, can you just kind of tell us about photo number one? When you see that photo, what do you think of?
This is just photo number one is, I think it's my Wikipedia. It's the saddest photograph of all time, because I didn't know what I was doing. Jerry Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, Bob Ryder, all these people I got hired, and I was a complete green person in wrestling. I didn't know what was happening, and I was so put out in the ring. But this is just this dress. This is the shot that you never get to pick in life, like what becomes your shot. And this has just been the most, circulated shot. So this is a classic. And, I think, Nick, somewhere in the world, I still have this dress, and I made the necklace. I used to make all the gimmicks.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know a lot of the WWE, WCW guys, TNA guys. I made all of their gimmicks, all their entrance jackets, all their wear. I sewed. Chris Michaels also sewed and did a bunch. So most of the stuff that you see me in from wrestling days or rock and roll on stage, I've made it all from by hand, from scraps, recycled pieces. That's kind of interesting. You've got this photograph here, which is completely made out of all of this recycled, weird stuff that you would never ever think. But that's a great shot. You've got the one of me and Trinity. That's a great story behind that. Tell me when you're ready to hear it.
We're going to get to all of that. So that's our number one. And by the way, this is one of our two bestsellers. It's one of our two bestsellers. So not many of these available. Do not wait to pre-order yours. We'll get the close up right there.
You know why this is such a special? Because either love me or hate me in TNA, I was very real. I was very authentic. Everything was a complete shoot. And this, I was legitimately pissed off.
Well, what was the segment? Because I know the photo, but it's like the memes. You know the memes, but you don't know the backstory all the time? What was the backstory?
The backstory is I was probably taking a bunch of shit and heat backstage.
Okay.
And I went out there and I was just done. Have you ever had a day where you're just like, I'm done at work? Well, I was done. I shouldn't have been necessarily showing it. Whatever. But somebody captured it. So, I mean, you go back in time. This was a few years ago. And it just captures reality. That's why I love this picture.
Have you guys ever been done at work? Let us know in the comments.
Have you ever just wished that you were going to win the lottery that day? You just want to tell everybody, where to go?
Number one, like I said, only a few left. Here's our number two. Can you talk more about the unique outfit? And that's a great shot.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So this is, I wanted this big long train. It's a 200-foot long train like you would wear in a wedding. Okay. You know how much money that would cost. So guess what, everybody? I made it out of tablecloths. I found striped tablecloths, and then I put a lining in it, and it went all the way down. This was the Kentucky State Fair, and I think we were opening for Theory of a Dead Man that night.
Band.
Yeah, and it's made out of old purses and suitcases and all kinds of hardware that I just ripped off of stuff, and I made this really cool gimmick. And I know a cool story.
Let's hear it.
The top of the bra top, let's just say it didn't cut it, and I was panicked. So I found a pair of lace underwear at the very last minute. Somebody's used. I don't know whose they were, but I cut the top of the lace of the underwear and I glue gunned it to the top of the bra top because it was a family show, and even if it wasn't, we ain't playing like that. We got to keep it PG-13. But yeah, there was a definite wardrobe malfunction, and somebody's lace underwear is on the top of that. So take it or leave it. It's a true story.
That's a great cherry on top of that story. Now, one of our other big pre-orders is this number 3 right here.
I think this looks like Kelly Ripa.
I can see the Kelly Ripa resemblance. Yep,
this
absolutely.
is in Nashville, Tennessee. This is when I first came to Nashville. This is a Charles Corley special. Charles, I met this crazy guy in the apartment complex that I started to stay in. And we just went downtown Nashville, right by the Parthenon. You can all visit Nashville and see that. There's all these columns, and we shot this. It was really impromptu, and everybody was staring and watching and having a good time because it was like, who's this crazy bitch in the park? But it was I just remember this complete opposite of that other sad picture. The one where I was done at work.
That is, yeah, that's the antithesis of the number 1.
It is, but like they're both so different, and I think you should have both.
Why not, guys? And by the way, as a reminder, you can Kiss upgrade yourself. And the unique thing about the Kiss upgrade, we're going to get zoom for this.
Yes!
Goldie comes prepared. You can pick your color on the Kiss upgrade photo. I've worked with literally dozens of female talent that were doing Kiss upgrades. No one's given you the opportunity to pick a color. Goldie will talk about the different colors you have as she's showing you. Lots of color. What is your favorite color? Lipstick? Let us know in the comments.
Are you a goth type of guy, or do you like a nice cherry red, or do you like something that's a little darker? Or yeah, let us know what you'd like. Would you like a bright pink? Like, oops, I dropped it.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry about that.
Number 4, by the way, you said Kelly Ripa there. All I see here is Pam Anderson.
Oh,
that's what I see. So that's our number 4.
Thank you. Pam's one of my all-time favorites. So I actually took this myself.
Really?
It's a self-portrait in my studio. I didn't have any makeup on that day, and you know, I think some people like it just because
it's real.
There's no makeup. It was and my hair wasn't washed for a long time, but I think it's fun. I didn't think it looks cool.
It is a good photo.
So there you go. Yeah, self-portrait.
Now, our number 5 option, this is our 3rd bestseller right here.
Oh, that's from like just a year ago. Still looking pretty good. Still looking pretty good. I like to compare. I like to keep myself looking good. So yeah. This one was just a couple of years ago. A friend of mine and I went to Florida and just hit the beach and took a bunch of great shots. This was really fun. And our Patreon, Patreon.com/Goldy with a Y Locks. This was a special picture because all the patrons got a chance to look through about 50 swimsuits, and they picked 20 that I got to wear.
Okay, and that was one of the 20.
This was one of the pictures that only a few people got this one. So yeah, that one's pretty cool.
Thank you for the backstory, Goldie. Yeah. And yeah, you can bring this photo home with you. Number 6 option.
Woo! Right when I moved to LA, this is the streets of Los Angeles. This is in Venice Beach. I worked with a very, very famous photographer. Now, this was one of the very first outfits that I made and wore on Impact TNA Wrestling. The jeans, there's some crazy stuff on the jeans. That's an old like blanket that I cut up and made that kind of like a cowl neck, I don't know, a little turtleneck gimmick or whatever. I spray painted my initial on it, and you know, this was such a crazy time. I can almost smell the beach and that day. And do y'all remember, like, because this was 2002, that's like 23 years ago. Do you remember where you were like 23 years ago and just
20.
Things were carefree and you didn't have all this responsibility? And that's what this picture reminds me of and smells like. Just fresh, signed to a wrestling organization. I had my record deal. I was in Los Angeles. I just thought I was going to be unstoppable. And you know what? I met a lot of really famous people at Cherokee Music Studios right nearby here. Eddie Money was recording there.
Nice. Take me home tonight.
Van Halen, some of the guys from Van Halen were recording. Rick Springfield was recording. Rod Stewart was recording there. Some of our other more modern rock bands were babies like me here, but they were recording there also. It was a really really great time. Very nostalgic. Thanks for having this picture.
That is very cool. Thank you for telling the backstory.
Yeah.
I love all the artists you just named. Our number 6 option. Now our last 8x10 option is a solo. Is that right there? Feeling red.
This one's really, really cool. I asked a poll on Patreon and said, what would you like to see? And this is from the Sexy Locks tier, PG-13. PG-13.
Nice.
And this is what they said. They said, can you do something that's like, what was their reasoning? The glasses that you wear at those movies that are blue and red, 3D?
3D, okay.
They said, can you do a 3D type picture? And that's what I did. So the only people that ever have had this are a couple of patrons that requested this on a higher tier. So this one's really pretty. I love it.
Now those are our solo options. We're going to go over one more photo, then we're going to get to the pre-orders. And guys, wait till we show you what Goldie has brought with us.
Fun, Nick.
Now, we've got 2 different, we worked with Trinity about a year ago in Long Island, and
So these are already signed by
they're
her?
already signed by Trinity.
Oh, my girl.
So you can claim those. We've got one available in black, one available in pink. You actually have a photo, behind the scenes photo.
I brought a matching picture, not knowing that Nick had this. This is another picture that we will. I don't know. You tell me what we price this at, Nick. Because
Yeah, that's a rare. Yeah, absolutely. That's a behind the scenes photo.
Yeah, this is one that didn't make it. Now, this is from the TNA calendar, everybody, and I was the official, because there was no official, TNA graphic designer for the first year, 2002. I took all the wrestlers' photographs because I had a camera and a good one, and that's why
Step one, have a good camera.
I was the photographer. So this picture was actually taken by a homeless man on Venice Beach, and I was taking pictures of Trinity. Trinity was taking pictures of me, and we asked this gentleman that was on the beach if we could trust him. Gave him the camera, and he shot this and this, but nobody's got this.
Where is the beach?
Venice Beach.
Venice Beach.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you can look it up. It was actually, I think, on 2003's TNA pay-per-view. It shows Trinity and I on the beach, and the name of the gimmick was Bums on the Beach. So you can even look that up on YouTube. There's a clip of that.
Bums on the beach. The double entendre makes all the sense in the world, especially when you get the backstory.
There you go. So yeah, I do have a few of these for my personal collection that I just happened to bring.
So guys, we're gonna get some pre-orders, and then we've got VIP passes. We've got, like I said, original TNA promotion material. We've got Goldy Locks CDs. We're gonna get to all that in the next few minutes, guys. But we're gonna start making sure we get your items in. Now, let's talk about these CDs that we have. We'll start with the CDs.
The CD, this is our brand new CD, and it's pretty rockin'. So this is Talking to Myself, and one of the songs that is on it is called I Didn't Know, and that is featuring 11-time champ and now new Hall of Famer for 2025, first Hall of Famer, Mickie James. So she's singing on this, and with the CD, you get to pick a couple of stickers, and we will provide you with just a couple of really cool stickers. Everybody likes neat little gimmicks and things like that. We've got some really good ones. So the CD comes with 2 of those, and of course our free gift tonight. So that's just really fun. And then you tell me when I can tell them about.
Now that CD, I'm gonna bring it in tight so everyone can see.
Mickie James is on it.
We've only got a few of these. These will be 30 signed. We can do the cover, or we can do on the front of the disc if you want.
You can.
Are these signed by your band members?
Those are signed by.
Look at this. So you actually complete the trilogy. You're getting the Goldy Locks band. You'll get Goldie too. We've only got a few of these. These are 30 signed.
30 signed, and you get a couple of stickers.
Stickers thrown in.
And you get your card. So that's a really great value.
Absolutely, it's a great value. Only a few of those. Let us know in the comments. Say the Goldy Locks band or CD to reserve yours. Let's talk about these VIP acts. I marked out for these. I'm a big.
Cool.
I love going to concerts. You know, people. You're getting a concert ticket. You're upgrading to VIP access. Here's your chance to get something signed right in front of you. Please talk about those.
Yeah,
Goldie?
these are VIP from this last summer, and he's worked for a Capitol Records rep, and he had some guests with him. So these are one of a kind. They're just a few from a small short run series, and they're just badass. So
now I love this, by the way. Any of the colors going to pop on this. Black is such a great background for this. The paint pens, a red paint pen's going to look great. The silver, so many paint pens. And now what we can do for these are $75 each. We can do a Kiss upgrade for you if you claim that.
Yep.
We'll throw that in. Look at the artwork on this though.
Isn't that neat?
That is very cool.
That's pretty cool.
The Goldy Locks band right here.
Look at the hair.
I'm with the band. The hair is rad.
Yeah.
And then we can get it signed on one of them. We'll throw a Kiss upgrade on either of these, and you're going to get the free 4x6, the Goldie Nose 4x6. Now,
vegetables.
Don't forget to eat your vegetables and the piece de resistance. Let's show the
peas.
No, the piece de resistance. The item of the day right there.
Item of the day. There's 2 mints and there's 1 that is not mint, so I don't want to keep touching the mint one, so I will show you the story with the one that's half price today, but there's only a couple of these left because this was the first ever TNA promo card. I shot all of these people who many of them have crossed over and are not around anymore with the Lord, but the Dups and Puppets on there, America's Most Wanted, Don West, of course, rest in peace, Malice, rest in peace. AJ Styles is on here, Jeff is on here, but I took all these pictures of them. There was no promo, there was no marketing materials. I said we have to have marketing materials at these fairground shows. So I printed these up myself because I'm on the cover. I put myself on the cover. Why not put myself on?
Absolutely.
Here's another outfit that I made out of a couch. This is out of upholstery fabric for a couch that was sitting probably urine infested somewhere in an alleyway. Stripped it, made these rock and roll USA pants, and we did this. So this has been the other ones were sold on eBay for $4.99, $500, and today Captain's Corner, like I said, we've got 2 that are mints, so those are $200 a piece, and then we've got this one that does have a fold in it. Things happen. And that one's $100. It's half. So that's what we have. Kiss upgrade, of course, comes
You're
with
getting
it.
hooked up, guys. You heard that on eBay. It's going for legit more than double the price. Here, not only are you getting the deal, you're getting the upgrade thrown in, and you can watch Goldie sign it. So, and the promote. That's a piece of history. TNA still exists. I mean, who knew back then, right? The company would still be going on, continuing.
This was the old. Remember, this was the first
logo. Yeah,
first logo.
I'm going to get up close just so you guys can see.
It's so cool.
Look at this, guys. Original TNA promotional material right here.
I would not let these go for under $500 a piece, but Nick talked me into it. He said we've got the best people that support Captain's Corner, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just bring it.
Guys, you can't make me look bad because Goldie's going out on a limb here for us, and you can claim yours. 2 in great condition, 1 in decent enough condition.
Decent enough condition.
Dan, I'm going to show you yours. Boom. That's for you with the double smooch.
Mr. Cactus, will you ask him if he's listening?
He's right here. He's definitely listening. Yeah.
I have tears in my eyes, legit, because I've never used this before, but I picked a lipstick for you that was my mom's.
Aww.
From, I think it was 1962. That's how long this shit lasts.
God.
So, you know what? This was my mom's, and before she died, she passed on a lot of her special things. So this is really very personal and very valuable. I've never used it before, but it's got a smell from past days, and it smells like my mom. And so I just want you to know, like, we literally got like the most. This was a really special one because it was like a pinkish color. So thanks for ordering the pink one. That was a bonus.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Goldie. And by the way, you look at the quality. Like you could right, like that's a lipstick.
Don't you wonder what kind of shit was in these lipsticks if it's 16?
Right, it was still working like that.
1962.
No, actually, you don't want to know, probably.
No, you don't want to know. Don't eat that.
Thank you, Capo. We had a question earlier about how did you wind up getting involved in TNA in the origins? 'Cause like you said, you're the Jill of all. You're doing all of this work in addition to being on here.
Right place, right time. But I did have an entertainment lawyer that was in cahoots with the Jarretts, and I thought that I got this gig on my own merit from going to Nashville back and forth from Los Angeles, just really trying to get it. But I think behind the curtain, somebody was pulling some strings, and it was right place, right time. And I'm so thankful to God and to all the supporters that made TNA the incredible promotion that it was and is. And I just, it's such a great piece of history. I'm just so honored and proud to be a part of it all. And every time I look at this damn picture of Trinity with her rock hard abs and my sad ass sucking it in gut and my arm, look at her arms are like super carved, and I'm just like, but I have a good heart.
Goldie's being very modest here. And
Trinity is such a perfect body. Oh.
we do love Trinity. Goldie's being very modest. By the way, Dan said he's telling me currently putting a women's wrestling panel together for this month. Dan, you got to shoot the link over. I'm curious to hear what you have on the panel, and then we'll give you a plug too. Thank you for always supporting Goldy Locks and Captain's Corner.
Danapalooza.
Danapalooza.
He's everywhere, especially on the Twitter or X.
The request on this one.
What you got?
I'm going to go over here because I have the question loaded already.
Really?
Over here. Capital's this question for Goldie.
This is Cactus?
Yes, Cactus Capital. Question for Goldie. Thoughts on lightning rods of controversies for TNA in the past? Austin Aries and Low Key, good guys or just go away?
You want me to tell my take on either one of those guys?
Yeah, he has specifically those two guys, yeah.
Okay, so I reached out to Low Key to be on my podcast, but my podcast was under the umbrella of Russo's brand, of which he cut a huge promo about never wanting anything to do with Vince, and he wouldn't support anything. But here's the thing: he was obviously, I got him all fired up, but he was very gracious and very kind and very professional with me. And he could have just been a complete jackass, but he handled me like a lady, so I appreciate that. He was always super cool to work with at TNA. Very driven, very focused, very professional. No bullshit with Low Key at all. Like, he's legit. Like, he could probably kill you with one shot.
Yeah.
And who was the other person?
Austin Aries.
Who is Austin Aries? What other gimmick names does he have?
I don't remember. I think he was Austin Aries. You guys might have just missed each other.
We might have just missed.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him. I can't talk any yay or any hey. But if you have anybody else you want to know about, I'm happy to give you the real rundown.
Let us know. Goldie's an open book. Goldie, in the meantime, what did you think of the Asylum? TNA was there every week. And what did you think of
I miss it. I drive by. It's been, since demolished, and it brings tears to my eyes because it was such a magical place. It was so raw and dirty and gritty, and you look back at those first years and those scummy, slimy fairground locker rooms, and that's where we did our bits, and I miss it. It's like those dive bars that you love to go. Maybe you went on a date with somebody and you have these amazing nostalgic memories of that person. And then, what's that song? They tear it down and put up a parking lot or whatever.
Yeah. Kind of comes in the cover, yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of, I put up some new place, and I just think of the memories of that, just the Asylum and just all the magic. And, there were so many people, you guys, that I didn't know a lot about wrestling, I didn't know a lot about sports, but I would see these, I saw this, little guy, and I'm like, who's this guy? Like, what's he ever going to do? Hello, AJ Styles. Or fill in the blank, CM Punk rattled in, and he was just young and up and coming. Or, you look back at the Mickey James footage of us going at it, we went head to head and we're fighting and said horrible things to each other, and 24 years later, we're on a tour together, singing music songs. It's just, life is amazing, and just around the corner, it can change in a snap of fingers. So I wish I could go back in time to the Asylum when I was such a young pup, and I wish I could do some things over. Wish I appreciated people that I worked with more. Because you know what? The first day in that ring, you had WCW legends, you had WWE legends, and I didn't know who the hell anybody was. And now, I remember Elix Skipper, he used to always say, will you sing for me? And now Elix shows up in McDonough, Georgia, whenever we have shows at Southern Roots Tavern. Elix is front and center. Or when we play racetrack shows, with NASCAR, he's always there. And it's like, what a gift. If you've got a friend from years ago,
20 plus years.
I highly recommend that, whether it was an Asylum that you met them at or wherever, I highly recommend you give them a call and find them and reconnect and just say, you know, thanks for being my buddy all these years. There's nothing like good friends. So when I think of Asylum, I think of meeting women like Trinity and her just being brand new to the wrestling business. I think of Elix, I think of AJ Styles, I think of Sandman. I think of so many of these amazing legends that I got the chance and opportunity to work with, but that I'm still friends with today. That's pretty cool.
Now,
great question.
So we're going to have to talk about the reality show very shortly because my wife doesn't really care about most of the people I've worked with. Not most of the people I've worked with. However, she was very interested that I was working with you. She's seen you on Extreme Cheapskates. Can you talk about the reality TV component?
Yes.
Like, how did you want it? Because that's... honestly, I watch a lot of reality TV. I'm finishing Southern Charm right now. I like reality TV. That's sports. But can you talk about how you got involved in the reality TV world, Goldie?
You know what? The reality TV started. Well, it started with Ted Nugent doing Running Wild.
The Nugent? Oh,
yeah, I was
awesome.
on his show and running from him, and I ended up breaking a rib on there and getting temporarily blinded by a gun that he shot with the gunpowder kicked back in my face.
Jeez.
And I fell down this hole and broke my ribs, and it was awful. But it was really a one of a kind experience. I'll say that. After that, I did the wrestling. I did extreme cheapskates. I had my own show during COVID, calling the cheapskates, where I would go in and save families money and shit in their backyard and teach them how to compost with human poo, and it was pretty extreme. But yeah, I'm surprised that your wife knows about all that. And then this one is from Goldie Knows, this was my own reality show that then got picked up by PBS, and they made it very conservative, obviously, on PBS. They kept the name, but they didn't know that there was all this, you know, little ricochet promo going on. So that's why these are such a hot item, is because they were banned by PBS. So I've got these, and I wasn't allowed to give them out. So now I sell them, but I'm giving them to everyone who's ordering tonight, just because we love and appreciate you. So yeah, Goldie Knows was a reality TV show where I did home improvement way before any bitch on Instagram had a nail gun and knew how to do any DIY. I was really doing it. So I gotta put myself over on that.
You should. You heard it here first. Now we're gonna get to that question.
Yeah,
it was a follow-up.
What you got?
Capo, it was about Vince Russo.
Ooh.
So after hearing that about Vince Russo, what are Goldy Locks' thoughts on Russo after hearing his reputation before meeting with him and then after working with him?
So I never knew Vince's reputation. I just met him at the Asylum. The story that I tell is I had this beautiful rescue cat, and it was in Los Angeles, living in Beverly Hills. And I just remember that I was doing a pay-per-view that day, and I was so stressed out because it was just anything Wild West went. And I just remember the warder was trying to call me throughout the day, but I was doing live TV. And finally, the last voicemail that I had was, "We couldn't get a hold of you. We didn't know if you had the authorization to take your vet to urgent care. Your cat is deceased." So you can imagine this beautiful cat, I love my life, and I was hysterical. And I just remember Vince Russo getting down on 2 knees in one of those back shitty asylum locker rooms, holding my hands, and one hand was held and the other was on my back, and he was like, look at you, don't cry. We'll take her to Hooters. We'll take her to Hooters. So that was Vince's way of fixing everything, was he was going to take me to Hooters. But Vince and all the boys took me out and just tried to let me cry and do what girls or anybody does when they lose a loved one like that. And that's my first real run-in with Vince Russo. He did ask me to take my shirt off.
Hard left, by the way.
Yeah.
That segue.
Yeah, it was like, he did say, and
Sweet moment.
Will you take your shirt off for this bit? And I said, no, hell no. And he's like, okay.
Oh, that's why. Oh, what's your
That's
lollipop?
That's why. See, I was asked first, and I said no. And he's like, okay. So you'll be tossed around, and your shirt will open up, and your bra. And I'm like, I'm not doing any tits. I'm not doing any bras. I sang and I did interviews. No. So they found somebody else to do it, and somebody else did it. And after standing up to Vince that day and just saying no, and I could have gotten fired, because I did get fired later on for saying no to something. So anyways, me and Vince became really good friends, and he wrote in a lot of really creative segments. Vince always Jeff always worked with me on any ideas that I had. I don't think there was one idea that I brought to creative that they said no to. Everything was a green light and a yes. And they took that idea, and they made it into something amazing, and all the different characters that I played and all that. That was me coming up with stuff saying, can we try this? And they were like, absolutely. They were the most brilliant, amazing people to work with. Years later, even after TNA, Vince called and said, I'm doing a Howard Stern type show, a bucket full of chicken necks. You'll be like my Robin. I did that for 5 or 6 years. And then he gave me my own show on the, there's 2 different networks. One was the Realm Network and the other was Channel Attitude. That was the one that I left on. So Vince has been a really great friend. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have different stories, but here's the thing. You can hear anything that you want about somebody. I always believe that you should just give people a chance to prove themselves to you and see who they are to you, because who you were a year ago might not be, pretty sure it's not the person that you are today. And I'm sure not that same person I was when I was hired with TNA. I was arrogant and a bitch and thought I was better than everybody. And then life comes down on you hard, and I had some things happen, and now I see things a different way, and I'm grateful for all the shit that hit the fan. Because that puts you in a different perspective and helps you become a better person. So Vince has been only the greatest friend to me, and when people say shit about him, they don't know what's going on with ratings. They haven't been in charge of a wrestling network or promotion, or you try it. It's really hard. Like, I'm really impressed tonight at the way Nick is handling his business. You guys can't all see that, but in a very neat hotel suite, everything is very, very organized so that your orders are protected and they're not confused, and it's really well run. So thanks for supporting us. He's a great guy. I just met him. He's awesome.
Thank you, Goldie. And by the way, low key, amazing Vince Russo impression. The way you changed
yeah. Well, get you some noodles.
Now I got a question, because I remember me and my buddies, like after we graduated high school, we'd get together and we'd watch, like it was kind of TNA every week when we could. So we remember you and Abyss, you and Alex Shelley, the baby bear. What are your memories from your time now as, now you're evil. Now you're kind of evil.
Oh, it was so much fun to be a heel. I loved it. And we throw back, if Cactus is still watching, I remember telling my mom in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that I needed some things to look rich. I was like, I have to be rich. And she was like, oh, I have just the thing. And it was this dead animal on a stool with this mink head. Oh, it was horrible. I hate anything like that because I'm a cruelty freak. But it was this terrible ratted mink, and then this fur hat and all of this stuff. And that was all from my mom. And then I became this rich diva that was just evil, and some of the promos I cut on Abyss were just very hard to watch these days. They were horrible. Like, they're just really bad.
Oh, you've gone back and watched them since?
Well, yeah, they're bad news. Like, mean. But then again, Abyss got me fired from TNA, so.
Also a hard left.
There you go. Well, it's all good. Peace has been made. Peace has been made.
Now, you returned on, I guess, before it went back to TNA. It was Impact's pay-per-view, or did it have to switch back to TNA? You made an appearance in the last couple years with Gia Miller, too.
So fun.
Yeah, can you talk about that?
I was just so excited to be back. I've been trying to come back, so it was really cool. Gail Kim was amazing, and Gio was just, it was just neat to see another interviewer, and you know that you helped create something really cool, and that the torch got passed, and that all this great talent is just doing their thing. It was really neat. What's really neat is there's some people that I can't say names, but some people that apparently just can't let shit go for 23 years. You need to grow the fuck up. And I'll just say that. That's my shoot on. I won't say any names, but it was interesting that some people still had a grudge for, how can you let 23 years go by and still be pissed off at somebody when they're not even that person anymore? Like, who I was 23 years ago. Nick, were you the same person that you were?
I was a bit of an asshole. I think that 23 years ago, I feel like you matured through your 20s, your 30s, and then,
40, really started to figure it out.
100%, yeah. No. Well, we brought up Gia, so Gia actually, we decided with her a couple of years ago, so temporarily, I thought it was a great idea. And High Spots actually uses it now. I don't know if she told them or whatnot. She came to me and she was like, hey, if you ever want someone to host it while you do the background stuff, that's a great idea. And I thought for a while, 'cause she's so talented.
Oh, she's super.
Yeah, to where I'm like, that would be a great idea. Budget-wise, it didn't really work out. But High Spots does it now where she hosts the virtual signings with guests. And, so...
I bet she's really good and off the cuff and everything.
She's so quick.
Yeah.
She's so quick.
Which you need to be.
Yeah. You have to be, because as we know, dead air is the ruin of us all. Now, you were part of TNN when they started taping in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I remember that being a big thing. They were on Fox.
It was.
What are your memories of, hearing, okay, we're not just going to do Tennessee, now we're doing Orlando, Florida?
It was scary. It was exciting. The travel is always really grueling but exciting, and then you get there and oh god, I've got some stories. Probably not not safe for work.
Say what you can. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just remember. I remember I was, I had different people that I dated in different ports, but I remember I was out with this one guy at a local bar, real upscale in Florida and Orlando, and I just remember being with my guys and some of the other wrestlers, and I don't know, this chick just kept coming over and like showing us her tits. And I was like, okay, we've seen them, and she was just like, look at these.
This is the bar?
Yeah, it was a nice bar, and they were having a Hawaiian Tropics bikini contest.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense now.
Well, yeah, but I don't still need to see your naked tits. You know what I mean? You could have a bikini on. I would have been like, all right, nice. But she just kept coming over. Like, she really wanted the guy that I was
She wanted
dating.
attention, yeah.
Well, no, she wanted the date.
Specifically, okay.
Yes, so,
That's something that could go really bad.
It could, it may have gone bad for her. But anyway,
that's what I mean.
I drank like a lot of liquid that night. And then I remember I had a cup kind of like that one over there, like one of those gas fuel stations, styrofoam cups.
Uh-huh.
But I just remember going to the restroom all night long, and then instead of urinating in the toilet, I would urinate in this big cup. Well, anyway,
holy moly!
She was getting ready to walk the catwalk and show everybody what she had. Show those goods that I'd seen all night long. So I just remember she was going to run into that restroom, the public restroom, for one last touch-up. So I just made sure that I found myself in the stall next to her, and behind that toilet was a big, huge, super gulp cup of my urine from probably 7 or 8 trips to that restroom. And I just remember taking off my high heels and standing on top of that toilet seat. And I looked down and I saw her, and I just took, and I dumped it, and I ran out the bar, and you just heard, ah! It was awesome. It was music to my ears, and I left everybody because I didn't want to get arrested, because I guess that's technically like assault, and you get in trouble for that. But no one ever knows that I did that. But that was me.
We're hearing that now. Then that
was me.
If that girl's watching, she's gonna be like, oh.
Now she knows. Yeah, now she knows. Yeah, there's lots of good stories. There's stories that I remember seeing Tiger Woods at the Ale House, thinking, when is this guy gonna get busted? Like, when is this guy gonna get? Sure enough, the mice play. Cats away, the mice will play. So yeah, I remember finally when his big scandal came out, and I was like, we knew about that for years. So anyway, there you go. There's my Florida story. So do you bring this table with you guys?
This is a brand new gimmick. I got this one today.
Nice gimmick.
Yeah, I left in Montreal. I had a table that's been in my family since I was a little kid.
Are you gonna get it back?
I have to call the hotel. I realized when I was packing my car on Wednesday night. I'm like, where the F is? I haven't called them yet.
You call them after this.
I'll call them probably on the ride home. Yeah.
Yeah, but call it before somebody gets that.
I know, it was a beautiful table too. So thank you, Lowe's. You hooked us up. But
here you go,
Kenny,
thank you. That was my grandfather's name, so I remember Kenneth. What's a quick see?
REM, a little REM drop, Kenny.
Nick, you're so funny. What a funny guy.
Thank you so much. Now, Goldie, you've been in entertainment for years. Can you tell us, in terms of being on the road as a musician and being on the road as a wrestler, what obviously...
Same shit.
That's what I was going to say. Same kind of, you're gypsy, you go from town to town, you're in hotels.
I love it.
I know, it's the life we live.
I love it.
I'm adjacent to that life.
I love it. I love meeting new people. I love new experiences. I love it. I will never complain about that. And Don West, remember Don West?
Oh, he was the best salesman in history. He was.
You're really good.
Oh, Don! If I have 20% of what Don West would bring, I will die a happy man.
You know,
I love Don West.
One of my favorite TV shows was House MD.
Okay.
And I just remember laying in bed and I was watching House, and all of a sudden in the background I heard Don West, and I was on that episode also. I was like,
oh really?
My God, mind blown. But it just goes to show you don't know how long we have, and if somebody wants to order one of these, I'd be so honored to sign it, and then you can pick it up with your other 2 people that are going to be on here. That's really cool. That's very special.
Can you tell us a Don West story? I spent 15 minutes with him once, and the energy was contagious. You spent probably hundreds of hours around him.
Never heard a negative thing out of Don West's mouth. He was the most glorious guy to be around. He was so much fun. He was so cool. I remember Mike Tenay, though, that I rubbed him completely the wrong way because I was an asshole. I was arrogant. I was awful back then. I remember just really annoying Mike Tenay, and you know what? I reached out to Mike Tenay a year ago, sent him an email and said, hey, I'm really sorry for how I acted a lot. I know I wasn't your favorite person. Please forgive me. And just please wipe the slate clean. And again, I'm sorry. And I got this email back, Nick, this gracious, beautiful email from Mike Tenay saying, I only have great memories of working with Liar. I only have great memories of working. He took the high road and was such a gentleman and so gracious that it just makes me feel even worse. But both of those guys were absolute dreams to work with. And I'll tell you one thing that's really cool about Don West is he loved his wife. He loved his wife.
Really?
That's all you heard about was his wife. They were like, it was neat. It was neat to see that. Because you don't see that.
Well, I want to say, by the way, to you, owning, being like, yeah, I wasn't maybe the easiest person. You're also, though, to your defense, super young. Right? Like especially in a veteran's business with people double your age. So
young.
It wasn't just you, it was.
I should have known better, but I was really, really young. Stupid young. All of us were. Steve is he's gonna want this one.
We're switching it up.
Oh, I know Steve. Steve probably liked Motley Crue back in the day, so he's getting this total Motley Crue rip of a sticker. Because I love Motley Crue.
Oh, what's your favorite Motley Crue song?
Kickstart My Heart.
Okay, that's a good one.
I just love it because of the story behind it.
Great story. I've read Nikki Sixx's books. Obviously, the Netflix special was good. I've seen the Crew. Did you?
Yeah, I scared him, but he was.
How did you scare Nikki Sixx? That guy's been through a lot.
I scared him.
What did you do?
I think I was overly excited to be around him because I wanted to make sure that he met our drummer, who was patterned his entire life after, like, Tommy Lee and Motley Crue, and I just really... Oh, it wasn't Nikki Sixx. It was Tommy Lee we opened for in his EDM. I scared Tommy Lee. So I just really wanted to make sure that our drummer got to meet him, backstage when we were opening for him, and I think I scared him. But anyway. No, I've not met Nikki Sixx, but it seems like a really interesting, cool guy. So. We still have this VIP here.
We
this
do.
Is so badass, and I think I should sign it with that white pen because it pops so hard. But
who's going to claim it?
It took me 17 hours to design this. It is from this last summer's VIP. VIP for Capitol Records came out. Some execs came out, and we had these specially made. So this is the last one. There are no more. So.
Well, I'm getting everything organized over here. I gotta ask you for a funny road story on the concert end of things, music end of things, going from town to town, getting set up. I'm sure it's a little different than the wrestling end of things. You're probably because you have to test out a lot more, I'm sure, on that than you do on the wrestling.
But there's always like people that are really odd and strange that try to get into your vehicle when you're unloading, and there's no security. And a lot of times, the security that you have. They're creepy too. So we get to meet a lot of really interesting people. Road stories. I remember, this is a good one. We were in Louisville, Kentucky, and we had just finished our show, and we were coming out, and all of a sudden this guy comes running out of the club towards our vehicle when he passed it, and he had an AR-17 in parts that just were falling all over. It was really scary. And a bunch of other guys came out with semi-automatic weapons. And the next thing you know, the people that were the security for the club, they weren't allowed to carry, but they all were. And then it was just absolute chaos. So you get to see really crazy stuff, and live to tell it. It's not always the safest. It's very dangerous, but we can't really get into all that. But I just make sure that we're good. Goldy Locks band is good. Lost that light, so we've got one key light.
Oh, we do.
We've got one key light left, which is fine. You've got such a great support base for your organization, Nick. I love it.
Thank you, Goldie.
I love it.
Now, I love going to smaller towns that I never knew would exist unless I passed through it.
I love that too.
Well, what's a fun small town that you passed through that if you hadn't been going from city to city, maybe you never would have experienced?
Well, we roll through Chester, West Virginia, which there's a town called Titusville, Pennsylvania, and I have gotten to be best friends with so many people from Titusville, Pennsylvania. We've stayed at their homes. They've stayed at mine rolling through. That was really cool. Montgomery, Alabama. There was a bunch of super hardcore metal supporters that showed up at one of our live shows, and they just wanted to rock out, and we ended up being really great friends. He wrote for a metal monthly magazine, ended up staying with him, and then him and all his biker friends, whenever they roll through our town, Nick, my studio, I think I've had 50 of them.
Oh my God.
And you know what? And it was perfect. Nothing broken, all clean, bathroom respected. It was great. So as long as they've got an air mattress or a sleeping bag, they're always welcome. They're great people. So yeah, there you go. Small town. It's awesome to meet all these more. And we ended up playing at his wedding.
Oh really? Holy moly!
15 years later, his fiance found us, and he surprised him. And to see a big, huge, grown man with a beard that looked like he's in Metallica ball like a little kid was the best gift ever. It was really neat to see him again. So there you go.
That is very cool.
Small town.
Did you realize, by the way, until you were on the road, how big Pennsylvania was?
It's huge.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you don't realize it until you're driving through it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the things I've learned the last 10 years. Oh yeah, there's I want to say between Ohio and Michigan.
Yes,
I learned that. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Goldie, I want you to start telling everyone where you are on social media, how people can find you. But then please think of a funny story you can that will actually close off. Where can people find you on social media?
Social media is just always Goldie, Goldy, Goldy Locks Rocks on Twitter, X, Goldie with a Y Locks Rocks on Instagram. Goldy Locks, a ton of different, I think there's 17 Facebook pages, but look for the one that's popping. There's a personal one that's pretty cool. And then there's the Goldie with a Y Locks band, other Goldy Locks pages that are out there. Like, I just would love to connect with you. I'm probably, TikTok is Goldy Locks with a Y, Goldy Locks Rocks. I'd love to meet you all. Just please let me know that you're from Captain's Corner when you do, so I can follow you back and see where you live and be a fly on the wall for your life. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor to be here tonight. How cool. Well, so excited.
We're having a great time.
Absolutely.
How could we not? And then we'll have Goldie kind of tell us maybe a fun road story. Those are always great.
What, you got to tell me what kind of story that you want.
Well, anything. When you think of it could be, maybe traveling from town to town. I feel like those are always the funniest. But if you maybe setting up, maybe after a gig, maybe just eating afterwards. I mean, anything that pops in your head.
Oh, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, you went right to it.
Yeah, I remember.
Check that out, Greg.
Guy that was. Does this person get a card or not?
Yes, that's a good one.
I remember a guy that was really intoxicated, and he was smashing everything at the venue. It was a nice upscale steakhouse with like a seated area for people to come and listen to music. And I just remember telling him, stop doing that, because he's wrecking property. And this was like, I was pretty hot back then, like mad at people. I was looking for a reason to fight because I was on TV and fighting and doing stuff. And then I was doing indie wrestling too, so I really had it in my blood. But anyway, I just kept telling him, he's like, or what? I just remember telling him that I was going to kick his ass. And the owner, the manager just said, whatever you do, do it outside and away from the cameras inside. And I remember going out after he picked up one more ceramic pumpkin and smashed it and said, what are you going to do about it? And I remember he was really drunk. I remember going outside and just like beating his head into the cement, and everybody just stood behind like this. And they nodded. That was it. But you can't do that anymore. And I miss the days when there weren't cameras everywhere because you could really tear it up. And I think you could settle a lot of things that needed to be settled. And now it's a pansy society, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pansy society. So there's my story. I miss the old days in wrestling. Like, man, those guys and girls were just things up in people, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. But now there's cameras everywhere.
You got the tail end of that, right? That right before the smartphones, really, yeah.
I loved it. I had a Nokia back in 2002. It was a green.
Oh my God.
Shit green, shit pea, hospital poop Nokia. Remember those little things?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those were the glory days when you could really like just take matters into your own hands and be a vigilante if you needed to be. Now, it's boring.
You were an outlaw.
We all were.
And Little Rock, Arkansas has never been the same. Now, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in.
All so much.
Such a great time with Goldie. So entertained, Goldie. We'd love to have you back on for sure.
Love to come back.
Why, just to remind everyone, Kansas City, what's going on next
Kansas
week?
City,
Really,
Missouri,
really big
next
event.
Saturday, October 11th. Me, the newly, I think it's this weekend she's getting put in the Hall of Fame for TNA Hall of Fame, Mickie James. We've got a great show. It's called Rain and Riffs. It's our band, the Goldy Locks band, and we are doing a feature show with Mickie James. It's a lot of covers, the greatest hits, and it's a lot of the songs that you know and love from professional wrestling, whether it be WWE or TNA. I wrote a lot of those songs and sang on a ton of them, and Mickey's got some great entrance music and great original songs along with those hits. It's family friendly. Kids are just not allowed on the gambling floor, but it'll be a big party. But if you happen to have your kids with, it's cool for them to come to. There's a VIP immersive experience. The set of I Didn't Know, that steamy, rainy night, the bus stop and the bedroom in the mansion. We've built the whole set. It comes within our trucks. We set it up. You have the photo ops of a lifetime. We're even bringing some really sexy robes and satin pajamas and all kinds of things, and you can kind of put on something. There's a little changing room where you can just throw it over what you have. Come sit in our boudoir, get great pictures with me and Mickie and the band. It's just going to be really, really fun. First ever, we're debuting it, Kansas City, Missouri, on October 11th. We'd love to see you there.
Guys, if you can't make it to Kansas City, I'm sure there's going to be many a city that you'll be able to eventually go see that show. Goldie, thank you so much for your time. You were such a pleasure to come on the feed tonight. Awesome. We had such a great time with you. We're definitely going to have you back. And as a reminder, we want you guys back tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We got the NWA's Alex Taylor. He's 1/3 of the Southern Six.
Wow.
We're really excited about that, guys. But in the meantime, as always, thank you for the support. Thank you for keeping the Captain's Corner vote fueled as we're on the road. And we got to end it the way we always end our signings, which is cheers to the working man.